discuss about the case which has happened about the late Mr. Atul's like death, the suicide case. So what exactly has happened? Can you explain? Kya hua exactly?
What has happened with Atul is a very unfortunate but a very common occurrence of
Okay.
husbands in India being treated so unfairly, so poorly, so horribly by the Indian justice system. Firstly, it incentivizes wives to level false allegations because they are told that there are zero repercussions for you filing false cases. On top
Okay.
of that, the age-old held notion that as a man you are supposed to be the protector provider of your family still is held true by the mandate of the lawmakers, despite the fact that we as a collective society have tried to push forward the agenda of feminism, equal rights for women, and equal rights as well as duties of a woman to take care
Hmm.
of herself. Despite that, selective imposition of duties upon men and taking away any rights that they have. And what I mean by that also I'll get to in a few moments. This is what's been happening. I say this all the time. I have represented hundreds of husbands. I have consulted thousands of husbands.
तो ये क्या बहुत कॉमन है?
This is so common that,
Okay.
and the worst part is, people talk to me and they say, well, India doesn't really have those many cases.
Hmm.
Almost 80% of the cases, situations don't even reach courtrooms and police stations because husbands behind four walls, Somendra, are terrified. They are
Okay.
terrified. One is the physical beatings, second is
Hmm.
the verbal beatings, and on top
Hmm.
of that, the internet, the news, everyone tells the husband and wife that the husband is the perpetrator, the wife is the victim. And I have lost count, thousands upon thousands of husbands who say, I am so afraid. My wife tells me she will have my entire family sent to jail
Oh my
if I
gosh.
even squeak a word of, disapproval or I protest a little bit.
Okay.
So this has become a complete nightmare.
तो
In
इनका
fact, if I
केस में
can,
क्या हुआ एग्जैक्टली? इनका केस में मतलब
hmm,
लाइक आई वाज जस्ट चेकिंग हिज वीडियो लाइक 4 or 5 minutes ऑफ वीडियो, देन ही हैज रिटन अ लॉट ऑफ लेटर्स. सो व्हाट एग्जैक्ट मतलब अगर हम लीगल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखते हैं तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द इशू?
okay, so legally, if you look at, you know, what does the law say and what were the facts applicable to this case in regards to the court case? From whatever I understand from reading news reports, Atul's wife leaves the matrimonial home 3 years prior in 2021 and
Okay.
files all the cases that a wife can file, what we matrimonial lawyers call the divorce package, similar to a honeymoon package, right?
मतलब जो जो हो सकता है.
Correct. She files domestic violence petition, maintenance case under Section 125 Criminal Procedure Code. She files FIR. In fact, this is one of those 10% of cases in India where wife files multiple FIRs. 90% of the
Oh
time,
my
it's
god.
one FIR alleging dowry harassment, criminal breach
Hmm.
of trust, which is, this person kept my jewelry,
Hmm.
and say something like molestation, etc. Here, the
Hmm.
wife goes ahead, puts in attempt to murder, unnatural sex. Okay,
Oh my
all
god.
of the biggest buffet possible in one separate FIR and then another separate FIR. She's doing it all in the state of Uttar Pradesh, in Jaunpur, Uttar Pradesh, where the husband has to travel
जबरदस्त.
every single time. And
नहीं, why
the
to
sad
travel?
part is
Why to travel?
why to travel. Good point. It's a very good point. Why do you have to travel? Well, the judges normally in uh, civil cases such as domestic violence petition, which is also a civil case, maintenance cases. In these cases, the personal presence of the husband is actually not necessary. He can hire a
Okay.
lawyer who can then, appear on his behalf. But there are three aspects apart from this. One is the criminal case where the police mandate you must come and
Okay.
come and pay us bribes. Otherwise, we can always say we want to arrest, and then we arrest, and then you spend weeks, months in jail, right? So, one is
Oh.
dealing with the cops. Apart from that, when the police complete their investigation, file what is called a charge sheet in the court also mandates that you must come on every single date. Although the Supreme Court has
Okay.
mentioned that if you are living in another state and that the allegations are not very severe, you can move an
Mhm.
application from, from exemption from personal appearance. But a lot of the trial court judges say, "Bhai, हमें नहीं पता. We will call
आना है
you just to harass."
आना है ओके
Apart from that, there are two other aspects. One aspect is that in these, maintenance and domestic violence petition, small town judges deliberately harass the husband. They say, "You must come." My lord, why do I need to come? My lawyer's there. No, no, you must come.
must come
I am
okay
saying you come. You come, you have to come.
but is
And
it
because
judge
of
or the
this
lawyer
nonsense, the
is it
judge,
the
the
judge or the
judge,
lawyer okay
this
judge
is the
says
judge mandating you
okay
must come. Now,
okay
third point, Somendra bhai, which you said, right?
hmm.
Sometimes the lawyers say you must come, right?
आना
Why
है
do I need to come? You need to come. Otherwise, how do we do your case? The lawyers are there putting in the work. But I say when the lawyer has, you know, the lawyer knows that the judge is not going to sit there. Yet the lawyer will call you just so that you hand over a little fees to the lawyer. That's also there.
okay
But apart from that, Somendra, there's another aspect which is that a lot of times if you don't appear in the matter personally, the lawyer slacks off. So that is another aspect because of which husbands have to keep, going, even if they want to kind of avoid going, right? So because of all of these reasons,
hmm.
it is such a nightmare for husbands. In this particular case, it was not just the husband appearing.
Hmm.
I think from whatever I understand, Atul had a good amount of resolute, this thing. And how do I say that I
Hmm.
know this? When the judge allegedly asked for a bribe from Atul, he refused and said, "Deal with my matter on the merits." That is not someone who is
नहीं
harassed, who is broken down. That is something that this person says, right? But what transport, I
मैंने
think,
जज भी क्या मांग
broke
सकता है
him
लाइक
down.
कैन द जज रियली आस्क फॉर द ब्राइब लॉयर्स मांगते
Obviously
हैं
not.
राइट जज
Obviously
कैसे
not. It is atrocious. As a judge, you're supposed to dispense justice. You are given
hmm.
a good salary. You are given good accommodation. You are respected. Nobody in society touches you. Anyways, you are given a world huge benefits, right? A host of benefits. And
Hmm.
despite that, right? And the biggest fact is that as a judge, nobody bothers you in India, which itself is a big
Hmm.
blessing, right? Which is
Hmm.
something that you can't put a price on. Despite
Hmm.
that, for a judge to be so corrupt and saying that, and openly asking the person directly in their face, "Give me 5 lakhs, otherwise, I will fix a large maintenance amount. And give me 5 lakhs, it's not give me 5 lakhs, I will decide in your favor. Give me 5 lakhs
Hmm.
and I will compel your wife, force your wife to settle the matter, and then you can pay her some more money," right? This is,
Ah.
this is completely atrocious. Obviously, this is punishable under the
Hmm.
Prevention of Corruption Act. I am surprised why this judge has not been arrested till date, right?
तो अभी तक
Because
अरेस्ट हुआ ही
about
नहीं है कुछ
the judge has not been arrested. I say, you know what? This is an allegation by a man who committed suicide, who took his own life. For
Hmm.
a moment,
Hmm.
you may say, like maybe he went a little, he exaggerated a little. At the
Hmm.
very least, an inquiry must be done, investigation must be done before taking further steps against the judge.
Hmm.
At least,
Hmm.
the court should withdraw work from this judicial officer at least for a few
Hmm.
weeks and investigate into the truthfulness of these allegations that have been leveled. Right? None of
Hmm.
that I'm seeing happening so far. But
Hmm.
Atul himself mentioned that this is common knowledge across Jaunpur courts that this
Oh.
judge takes bribes. So if
Oh.
something like this, an investigation is opened up, 100%, not one, but 10 other allegations, 10 other, evidences will come up against this judge.